Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to pour on some stones and on some lids because that's a really cool Christmas present if you have some small glasses or something and then you have a poured lid and then you put some cookies inside, so that's really cute. And these lids are metal kind of, and you don't need to prime them. I have done that before and it works just fine. So just pour on them, at least make sure they're clean, but that's already it. These are stones, or they're not necessarily this type of typical round natural stones, but more these flat, really dark grayish ones that you also use often in gardens and stuff like that. And they are like that because in Germany there is a new thing going on, like you paint it normally with little figures or something like that. And then on the back you write a hashtag of a specific Facebook group and you put them in the wild basically, and somebody finds them, makes a picture and posts that in that group and puts it back, either keeps it or puts it back into the wild for the next person. So it's a really cute idea. My niece and my nieces would like to do that, so I'm gonna pour on one side, and then the other side we gonna use a white varnish eventually and write on it. Of course, pouring on stones is always difficult because you basically need the perfect macro pour. It's not like some pieces look cool and some pieces don't, like in a painting, but this is what you have to do with, right? So don't expect them to be some perfect pattern that you normally get with like a ring pour or a flip cup or whatever. It's also not flat, so parts gonna run down, etc. So set your expectations correctly if you pour on 3D elements. Of course, some techniques are also not that suitable. I would have a problem to put a Dutch pour here, I think, or a swipe. It's just not flat. So I think for the majority, I'm just going to go with dirty pours. So I made a few little cups I'm going to show you in a second with different colors. I'm just going to pour on them. I'm not sure if that's nice to watch or not, but I'm going to take you along. And what's going to hopefully look really nice is the end product, and that I'm gonna publish at the end of the video, or if my timing is not that good, then I will put it on my Facebook or Instagram or eventually in the YouTube community. Okay, because in a minute all these colors from the little flip cups are just gonna be under here, so I'm gonna zoom you in once a while, but yeah, let's see how you like it. Another thing is, if you do that, put at the side several gloves eventually and several papers, because you're always going to have messy hands and you might need to move the stone and touch it again. And then if you want to touch the next one with a total different color, then you're probably screwed otherwise. So have your stuff ready. So what does go well on little objects is ribbons. So don't worry, I'm gonna zoom you in later. Also the glare doesn't help, of course, but I think the more we come in this direction, you better can see it. This one is already really cute. This one is really pretty. That one too. So I think what works really good is to have some contrast, something light and something dark together, because then on a small surface you have a better chance to see something. I mean, there is one that is relatively flat, so you can try something like a ring pour. But yeah, as soon as you move it, you're gonna get to areas that are, yeah, not flat. But still, of course, it's gonna give a cool pattern. I really always have problems with these 3D objects because I never like this running down pattern that I see on top of in the green ones now. Not such a fan of that. This one is really cute now. This one is really cool to see in the wild, basically. I think this is a little bit too dark, and it has some of this ziggy-zaggy, which I'm not so fond of, but yeah, cannot influence it all. So I think it works best if you move it, if you tilt it, that it stays on there as long as possible. And then either try a ring pour or a moving ring pour, that you move from one tight side to another with in a round pattern, that you get this type of lines, because I think this look really cute. I mean, this is a cute stone, isn't it? This one too. Yeah, that's not so good now. Make it a little three-dimensional by first doing normal ring pour, and then you go a little bit big circles too. You get some additional lines. Like a rose. Like this. You get a little bit more, not typically ring pour, but a little bit more three-dimensional deep depth. These ones have a little bit a corner or a border, so it's a little bit tricky. And I touched that one. That's the problem. You have to move everything, but you basically also shouldn't touch it. But I mean, you can always edit the sides a little bit. Okay, so by some, I don't like the green ones at all. But that's perhaps because I'm a total blue person. And these ones probably look interesting in the wild. And here we have a very soft one. This one is cool. The lids are also perfectly fine. So I still have a rest that I'm just going to pour over the green. So yeah, I think the conclusion for me is a little bit to not go too much ziggy-zaggy in there, but either left, right, or left, right, right, left, or up and down. That's much better. Again, don't, yeah, I know that you can't see this really well. Keep in mind at the end, or Facebook, Instagram, it's all in the link. I also don't like that one, so I'm probably going to end up with all green again, but I still have this rest here. Another problem which I have difficulties with now, and perhaps you have a smart idea, they lose drops now. So theoretically I would need to move them to a paint-free surface now. But if I touch them, of course I have paint that I remove and that I have on my fingers. I also unfortunately have very shaky hands, so probably I'm gonna drop it. So what the only thing I can do is just move them a little bit on this, and then I eventually need to sand it off or something like that. Okay, so here we have the rose, the one with the lines, silver, gold, bronze, really crazy colorful ones. Here we have the blue one with the ring pour, just a normal dirty pour was that. And these two were now the last ones that I did with the lines. And I think they're really cute. Okay, so I know it's a little bit messy to see and a rather long video for just some stones. But don't forget to check out the finished stones, and then perhaps you can, in your country, duplicate the idea of put them out into the wild to have some art for other people. Let me know if you do that, or let me know how your stones turned out. You can post them on my Facebook community if you like, and I hope to see you back soon.